why we had to flee into the west coast of Africa. That's why they sold us, because the Lord sent them against us. You know why? Because we're stubborn and hard-headed. And if you think that's not true, I'm going to give you an example. What did the Lord tell Samson to go do with the Philistines? Did he tell him to go make friends? No. He sent Samson to go kill him. So, the Lord does send people to come and kill you if you mess up. Okay? So that's what he did to us. That's why we went into slavery. Go on.
In hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things.
Hunger, thirst, and nakedness. If we want to have clothes, we need to go to them. If we're hungry, we need to go to them. Food. If we want to have a house, we need to go to them. That's what the Lord, those are the curses that the Lord put on us. Go on.
And in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
A yoke of iron upon thy neck. That's what he did to us. Where in the history does it say these white people, they call themselves Jews in Israel, they call themselves Israeli because they are Israelis. That word doesn't even exist. But anyway, we're the real Israelites, you too, because you're from the Ashanti tribe. You're not an African. Okay? Because first and foremost, African, that's a white man named that continent. So even if you was an African, you're not really an African. You understand what I'm getting? Because we're not Negroes. He just named us. He dubbed us Negroes because he conquered us. If you conquer a nation, you're going to call them what you want in your language. Even if they call themselves Canaanites and you take them over, you're going to call them Africans now. Now you're African. Toby. That's how they name us. Go on.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he hath destroyed thee.
And weren't we destroyed in slavery? Physically, mentally, and spiritually? Okay, go on.
Verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far.
Now it's going to explain to you which nation. But you need to have spiritual eyes to see this one. But we're here to edify you with that. Or
from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
As swift as the eagle fly. Now what is the logo of these white people? The Romans had the eagle. The Nazis had the eagle. The Greeks had the eagle. All of them have the eagle. Until today, America has the eagle. So they came as swift as the eagle.
As swift as the eagle flieth.
As swift as the eagle flieth.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
English.
A nation of fierce countenance.
Fierce countenance, their face was fierce.
Which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
They used to kill our old and our young.
And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed.
The fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land. Everything that we planted, you heard the song about Bob Marley. We plant things and they eat it. Because we have to work for them and they reap the benefits of it. We had to pick cotton for them, pick sugar, cane. So everything that we plant, they eat. We don't eat of our own things.
Which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil.
We had nothing. Okay, they just gave us leftovers just to keep us alive so we can do more work. Because we built up this whole country. We built all these cave people, their nation, these so-called white people, we built up their nation. You know how? The so-called Negroes in America, they say, yeah, we made America great. That's true. You know how? Let me give you an example. If I'm a work giver, I hand out work. I'm a boss, right? And I have 1,000 people under me, and I have to, and they're slaves, right? And they're working for me, and they picking cotton and they picking sugar cane. All the profits that they pick, I get, right? And I don't have to pay them. So I get everything for myself. I get the products, then I sell the products to other white people in other nations. Then I make money with them. Then I get rich off of the slaves. So then I keep the benefits and I keep the profit. So that means I take all the money, and only thing that I have to give these slaves is a little bit of food and water just to keep them alive, so they can keep on working for me. Now, I got all the money and the products they got for me, and I sell it with the other white people, as I said. Then I keep the profits, and then I could build even a bigger store. Because that would happen with Albert Heijn, right? It wasn't here a couple of years ago. Okay? So they build upon it now, and if you keep on buying at Albert Heijn, they're going to expand their store because they're making money. Okay, that's what they did with us. They worked us, and then we built up their nation. Physically, because we had to build the houses. Because the White House was built by so-called Negroes. Okay? That you know. But are so-called Negroes living in it? No. They are living in it. Because, like the scripture said, the Lord has cursed us. But just as I always say, the curses are lifted now, because back in the 1930s, it wasn't okay to be a so-called black man. They would actually lynch you, kill you, rape you. But now, in 2013, these white people are taking a sun bath. They even have a spray tan in a can. Spray on tan in a can. They can spray themselves dark skin now. Funny shit.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? That's why we know that the curses are lifted off of us. Okay? Yeah, that's just a little introduction about what we are actually teaching and what the Bible is teaching. Okay? But we come here in truth. Because these people in the churches, they're not going to tell you stuff like this. Okay? And then,
which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind,
yeah.
or flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee.
And weren't we destroyed? We were destroyed.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68.
This is what happened to us. This is what happened to us. You know what this is, right? You know what this is? So these are the slave boats. Okay? Now this is prophesied in the scriptures, what is going to happen to us. And this corroborates, I mean, the Bible corroborates that we went into slavery. Okay?
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With ships. With cargo slave ships. Read it again, let me bring it down.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
We was brought back into Egypt again with ships. You know what? Egypt is spiritual Egypt. Because Egypt, you can walk from Israel, you can just walk to Egypt. That's not how we came here. We came here by boats. And we went into slavery by boats. Give me that. This, on the dollar bill, you have the Egyptian pyramid. So America is spiritually Egypt, not only because of that, but in every state of America they have an opening. So they are spiritually Egypt and Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Egypt, because there are a lot of faggots walking around over there, and it's normal now for them. And lesbians and animal fuckers, pedophiles. You know, everybody knows the Roman Catholic Church, they raping the boys, right? Yeah. You know that, okay? So they're the devil. The devil is comes from the it's in the Greek, it means Diablo, or Roman. It means Diablo in the Latin, yeah? But Diablo means deceiver. So when we say these white people are the devil, meaning they are the deceivers, okay? Because here we have the pyramid, which was physically Egypt, and the pharaohs was beating up us up. Okay? And now we have the spiritual Egypt. These white people are just so
Every day you hear of
every Saturday the Most High willing. We're here. You can say from hopefully 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. But hopefully around 2 o'clock, around 3 o'clock we're here.
Yeah?
Yeah, but every Saturday, if we're a little bit late, we're gonna come anyway. The Most High willing, we're gonna come.
I like the conversation, man. Last time I was passing by here, but I didn't know what's going on here. That's why today I just come closer to see. But now, because this one that people are saying, if you go to other churches, you never hear.
They're not gonna tell you this. You know why? This is what they want.
Yeah.
They want your money. Okay? Because in the
this
scripture, it says that if you're a priest, you're not supposed to be shaving your beard. Actually, no man is supposed to be shaving his beard. Did you know that? Yeah. It says it in the scripture. These are the laws, and if one of these pastor people come and tell me that was back in the days, the laws are done away with, then I'm gonna read this for you.
Look at the picture about what you got.
Yeah.
But where did that come from? Suriname?
Suriname, Dominican people, you know.
So you have church?
No, we don't have a church because the word church means to call out. This is the church. Where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there will I be in the midst of them. So we are calling out because you can check it out. The word church comes from the Greek, means which means to call out. That's what the word church means. Yeah.
Also means reason. Reason, which means an assembly.
Yes.
We meet together in an assembly. We are actually working on the church.
Yeah.
Also a temple. Why you say temple with the build of the Lord is not dwell with the temple not made by hand. It's not the temple. Temple means look. Temple means it's a flesh. Yeah. Flesh. Yes. But look what the people say. They go to dwell in the temple. But the Lord not mean that. The Lord dwelling in the flesh. That's what it says in the Bible.
Wait. You say people in the church. This is what the script. This is what.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 17, verse 24. God that made the world and all things therein, seeing that he is Lord of heaven and earth, dwelleth not in temples made with hands.
He doesn't dwell in temples made with hands. So when you think you're going to church and you're going to the house of God, you're going to a harlot house, a house of whores. You know why? All these women are actually a bunch of sluts and whores and demonic possessed people. You know how? Because they go to church on Sunday, or they go to church on Sunday, but Saturday they're out partying, shaking their ass and shit. They're not supposed to do that. They go to church with mini skirts and shit. They go to church just to look and dress good so that people can talk about them like, yo, they got money, and yo, she looking good today, all that bullshit. Okay, that's what they do. The Lord doesn't dwell in a harlot house or in a house of merchandise, because didn't the Lord overthrew these merchandise people in the church himself? Because there are physically churches, but you're supposed to conduct the word of the Lord, not do your own thing trying to make money. That's what they do. Okay? So,
okay, but you have to understand not about the church. Church is call out. That's why we here we call out. But they was say come to the church, it make you brainwash. So he make you sleep also. But yeah, what you learn, the church it will tell you everything. No. But we here want to tell you the truth. Yeah. Why? We want to tell you, if you say you from Ashanti, I want to tell you, hey, look, you are our brother, but according to the Bible, the Most High love you, the Most High don't love anybody. Why? The church say, so God should love the world, not the people. You understand that? You know that? He don't mean everybody. The Most High don't take everybody. He talk about the 12. It's a group of Israel. Okay, brothers. God bless you guys.
before you
go Saturday, hear the word of God.
Before you go, hear one scripture about what these people. Give me Romans 6. I'll do what you need. Romans chapter 6, verse 15. They like to say in the churches, the laws were done away with. You don't have to keep the laws. You can eat pork. Because it says in the Bible you're not supposed to eat pork. You're not supposed to eat anything in the water that does not have fins or scales. Fins and scales, sorry. So, slippery shark, you can't eat that. It doesn't have fins. You can't eat squid. You can't eat shrimps. You cannot eat those things. Those are unlawful things, and they are unclean unto us. That's why our people get sick. They're constantly going to the hospital because they eat these unlawful things. We're not Chinese people. We're not these groups. Because they can eat everything they want. Don't you see? They eat dog. They don't get sick. Because their body is different. When they say we are all equal, they're a bunch of goddamn liars. Because if we're equal, why don't you go to the white people neighborhood and just walk around on the street? But you know what they're going to do? They're going to call the cops on you. You know why? Because in their eye, they're not equal. You know who believes in equality? An idiot. An idiot believes in equality. Because these white people come with a smile and they say we're equal. But behind your back and in front of you also, they give, let's say you go for a job. They don't give you the job. They give the white boy the job. Even if you're more skilled than him, they just give the white boy the job. You know why? Because they see him as rebel. Because when these white people commit horrible crimes, right? They want to gather all evidence to make sure he did it. Okay? But when a black man goes to the store and steals some food, they lock his ass on 25 to life. Or smoke a joint to get 25. They don't even gather evidence. They just say, yeah, that nigga did it. Just lock him up. That's how they think. I'm gonna give you the last scripture, because when they say you don't have to keep the law. That was the Old Testament. Well, we deal with the New and the Old, because you cannot read a book with let's say a book has 1,000 pages, right? You cannot skip 900 pages and just read the last 100 pages and say, I know the book. That's nonsense. You need to know the whole book so that you, because if the Old Testament was done away with, why did he write the book in the first place? Because people are playing on people's emotions. That's why that's how they teach. They teach on your emotions. But the scriptures is not a religious book. That fool just came here, he wanted to make jokes. See, he was joking? Stupidness. But anyway, this is not a religious book. The word religion comes from the Greek, means religios, means to restrain, to hold back. This is not a religious book. This is a book of laws, statutes, and commandments, and history. Everything that happened to us from slavery onto what's going to happen to them that put us in slavery is in the scriptures. They're going to be put into slavery themselves. Because the scripture says, if any man leadeth into captivity, he shall go into captivity. Wait a minute. Give me the scripture.
Now I go far.
Yeah, go.
Okay, I'll go. So what was you saying? You every man?
Romans chapter 6 verse 14. For sin shall not have dominion over you.
Sin shall not have dominion over you. Don't let sin be your boss. If you see a man with another woman, don't try to get with that woman. That's adultery. If you know you can keep your beard, even if it's thin, don't try and shave it off because you want to look nice for yourself. Look, I'm a young man. We're young men out here, right? But we got beards. You know why? First and foremost, we fear the Most High. Second, we want to keep the commandments to the best of our ability, according to the scripture, because it's going to say. It's going to say.
Romans chapter 6 verse 14. For sin shall not have dominion over you. For ye are not under the law, but under grace.
We are now under grace. You know why? Because we're not in our country. We're under grace. Because most of the time, when you go for a job interview and you have a beard, they don't hire you. Because you have a beard, they want you to shave it. So there goes your equality. So anyway,
verse 15. What then? Shall we sin?
Shall we sin? The Lord is asking the question. The prophet is asking the question like, shall we sin?
What then? Shall we sin because we are not under the law, but under grace? God forbid.
God forbid.
Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey?
You're going to be a servant of the devil if you keep on sinning. Why? You're going to do what he wants you to do. You're going to go out and do crime. You're going to go out and do drugs. You can't drink. You can't drink. It's legal. It's lawful. Matter of fact, it is one of the things that you can do and you must do on the Passover. That's one of the holidays of the Hebrew Israelites. You must drink wine. So that's like a law. Okay? But you can't drink because it says it in the book of Leviticus. It even says it in the book of Deuteronomy. I'll just give you the scripture because I know you gotta go, but I'm just give you the scripture about you can drink because they say in the church you cannot drink. That does not say it here. It says it in the Old Testament and the New Testament. So anyway, we deal with the old book, but for the people that only deal with the New Testament because they say the Old Testament has been done away with, you just snatch it with this. Okay? So you can drink. Yes, you can drink, but you need to drink lawfully. You can't be drinking and then go on the street looking for trouble. This is the First Timothy. Can you come out of Very before a second. Yeah, I kept it up.
This is 1 Timothy chapter 5 verse 23. Drink no longer water.
Drink no longer water.
But use a little wine for thy stomach's sake.
Use a little wine for thy stomach's sake.
And thine often infirmity.
And thy often infirmity. So if your stomach feeling kind of whack, excuse me, if your stomach feeling kind of woozy or something, I don't know. Not that you want to throw up, but maybe if your stomach ache or something, then you just drink a little bit of wine just to calm your stuff down because the wine is actually good to you. They have even done tests on rats that they feed these rats only wine, and the rats and the other ones get only water. And the ones that got the wine, they live longer. So So wine is actually good for your blood and stuff like that. It's good for your heart. Okay, but don't be drinking just like this said. The book of